Before you hate on the title, trust me, I hated the game at launch too. It's been almost a year since Payday 3 released, and honestly, I really like the game now. But whenever I search for YouTube videos, they're all about how bad, how dead the game is. Is the game dead? Most definitely. It gets around 300 to 1,600 daily players, usually on the lower end. And at its lowest, I'm pretty sure it dropped to 80 players. 80? Jesus, that's terrible for a AAA game, but does it deserve this reputation? I don't think so. Let's talk about it. Before we continue, if you could just take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, I'd really appreciate it. I just started making YouTube videos and this is my first one, and I really want to have my channel grow, and it won't hurt you to hit those buttons. So, now back to the topic at hand. First, let's address the obvious. Is Payday 3 a bad game? No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty good. Does it live up to Payday 2? Not really, because Payday 2 is amazing and has so many funny moments, but I think that Payday 3 can also have great moments, and, well, if you've seen any of the bugs in the game, you know how funny some of them are. Genuinely, I don't get the hate. I've been playing Payday 3 for a while, and I quite love it. Sadly, all my friends hate the game, so I mostly play it solo, and it has its faults, because it wasn't out for most of its current lifespan. Starbreeze, what the fuck are you thinking? But it's fine. It's fun. The cloakers don't target bots, so I have to keep the disengage from the skill line, because sometimes the bots go brain dead, and I get kicked, and I can't escape. But it's great. I like the heists, I like the guns, I love that I can shoot a shotgun indefinitely, because, double barrel, that's just a suggestion, right? Because it certainly looks like it. Alright, let's get to the good parts before we talk about the bad parts, right? The new skill trees, or lines, I say, some of them are really good, some of them are really fun. The mobile skill line is my favorite. The bagging skill line is definitely the most useful, being able to bag 2 things at once. And the hacker line for stealth, they're all really cool. Looping doesn't feel as worthless as it did in Payday 2. That's a hot take for some people. But let's dive deeper into the heists, right? I've heard people say they aren't replayable, and I somewhat agree. But I think the game has good replayability. I also played the first Descendants and Valorant, so I'm used to torturing myself by doing the same thing over and over again with no gain. But I actually love the heists in Payday 3. Except for the dumb train one. That we'll talk about more on that later, right? Boys in Blue recently released. Recently, last month. And I like the heist. I'd say it's one of my favorite heists between both the games. It's fun, it's interesting. I like that I can walk into a police station and just shoot a cop in the fucking head. And it's a really fun heist. Syntax Error released, and that DLC was kind of a bust, but I like the heist. It was good. I didn't really like the guns, but the heist is really fun, and I play it for the money. I mean, it gives great fucking money, and it's pretty easy and pretty fun. And then there's the Golden Shocks one, which during the Mask Mania events, and I was going for the Shock Mask, and obviously I played that heist a couple hundred times or so. To be honest, I played it like 30 times, and I don't hate the heist. I'd play it again, but Mask Mania was kind of a disaster. But I don't want to talk about that right now, since I want people to get to playing Payday 3 a lot more, rather than hating it on it. Now, the game's progression system, a lot of people hate it, and to be honest, I agree. I don't like the guns progression system. I think I should just be able to buy fucking attachments without needing to level up the gun. I mean, I don't get why they didn't do what they did in Payday 2, which is use the Continental coins or CNET coins this time around to just buy attachments. Other than that, I like the progression. At the beginning it was horrible with challenges, but I'm glad they changed it to completion rather than skills and challenges, so you don't have to do the same heist 20 times with just a different gun. And I like the MOA skill line. Honestly, I love the ability to shoot a double barrel shotgun indefinitely. I think it's quite funny. And the ragdolls it can give are pretty good. The hacker skill line finally made me like stealth missions cause I fucking hate those. But hacking cameras and blowing them up really does seem way more fun. And doesn't feel as pointless as it did in Payday 2. I mean, people like stealth in Payday 2, but honestly I just felt it was boring. Lockpicking sucked. Everything was just loading a bar and hoping that somebody didn't walk in behind you. This time it's actually fun to lockpick shit. And yeah, I remember during the solo heist, I managed to pass an entire squad of guards using the hacker skill line. Pass. I blew up his camera and when all of them looked at it, I just shot them in the head. Decided to go loud there. But still, it's good for a distraction. And one thing that keeps Payday 3 alive is the community. Despite the low player count, there's a dedicated group of fans who love the game, including me, and Starbreeze has actively been working on updates and addressing player concerns and adding new content. And thank God they're doing that because I really think that Payday 3 is starting to actually become a good predecessor to Payday 2. A lot of people are still gonna hate Payday 3, mostly because of the bad start, and they changed a lot of things, but I don't mind that they changed some things. I wish they would bring some things back, like, where the fuck are the perk decks, Starbreeze? Seriously, the fact that there aren't any perk decks pisses me off, because perk decks were a major part in Payday 2. I love the Anarchist and Leech, and why aren't they there? I truly feel like there should be a melee option and perk decks option. But other than that, I don't really have a problem with the current loadout system. They say they're gonna add that you can pick up consumables around the map and carry them around, so that's quite useful. Secondly, why the fuck can't we crouch with bodies, man? Like, Starbreeze, bro. The Train Legacy heist? So fucking bad. It's basically unplayable. In Payday 2, during the underground section, you could hide body bags under the ventilation system underground. But even in Payday 3, it tells you to do that, but you just can't because you can't crouch into the ventilation system with the body bags. I mean, you can, but it's quite challenging and it's quite fucking annoying, to be blunt. And the heist is 90% harder because in searching mode, they can just now go downstairs, find the bodies, making it fucking impossible. But, you know, I like the other heist. I think there's a low selection of heists, but to be honest, I like the quality more than quantity, and there's some really good heists in Payday 3. And the last thing I want to bring attention to the fact that Payday 3 is quite fun. Even with its faults, Starbreeze really did a good job fixing it up enough, and they're still working on updates, so they're probably gonna fix it up even more. What I recommend is, if you have the money for it, buy the game on a double weekend or something, double XP weekends, they do that sometimes, and play for an hour. If you don't like it, just refund it. The double XP weekend will let you at least get money enough to buy the first few weapons and, like, level you up enough that you could get some good skill perks. God, I hate the fact that they changed that to lines, but yeah, that's my personal take on it. If you don't like my opinions, write it in the comments below what you think. I'll probably do a follow-up if this gets any viewers. And that's all from me. I'm heading out. See you in the next video.